"You filthy liar," Victoria Hale snarled, her voice slicing through the hushed murmurs of the upscale Manhattan restaurant like a blade. Lena Thompson froze mid-stride, tray balanced in her calloused hands as the white woman's eyes bored into her with raw contempt. "You think you can accuse me? A nobody like you? Serving scraps to people like us?" Lena's jaw clenched, teeth grinding against the surge of fury boiling inside her chest. She had seen it, Victoria's manicured fingers slipping a tiny vial from her purse, tipping clear droplets into Edward Hale's salad while he barked orders into his phone. The liquid vanished without a trace. No ripple, no scent, just death disguised as dressing. Edward, the silver-haired millionaire, oblivious in his tailored suit, forked a leaf toward his mouth. "Ma'am, Lena started, her voice steady despite the hammer of her heart. "Shut your mouth." Victoria cut her off, leaning forward, red lips curling in disgust. "Edward, this waitress is delusional, probably high on something from her slum." The word slum hit like a slap, echoing the unspoken divide. Lena, a black widow scraping by in Brooklyn, versus this queen of Fifth Avenue charity galas. Edward lowered his fork, brows furrowing, his empire-built gaze shifting between them. "What's this nonsense?" he demanded, voice gravelly from decades of boardroom battles. Lena's fist tightened around the tray, knuckles whitening. She couldn't unsee it. The vial's amber glint, the calculated tilt of Victoria's hand. Her mind raced back to her late husband, a veteran whose sharp eyes had taught her to spot threats in the shadows. But here, in this den of crystal glasses and whispered deals, speaking up meant risking everything. Her job, her daughter's college fund, her fragile hold on dignity. Victoria's laugh barked out, sharp and mocking. "See? She's speechless. Typical." She waved a diamond-encrusted hand dismissively, as if swatting a fly. "Fire her, Edward, before she ruins our evening." Lena's breath hitched, pulse thundering in her ears. The restaurant's ambient hum faded. All she heard was the echo of her father's old lessons from the civil rights marches. Stand firm, even when they shove you down. Edward picked up his fork again, the salad glistening innocently. One bite, and it would be over. "Mr. Hale," Lena forced out, stepping closer, her uniform suddenly feeling like armor cracking under fire. "That's salad, it's poisoned. I saw her do it." Victoria's face twisted, veins bulging in her neck. "You dare!" she hissed, slamming her palm on the table, silverware rattling. Edward's eyes widened, fork hovering. The accusation hung heavy, a fuse lit in the air between them. What poison lurked in that bowl? And why would his own wife strike now in public? The truth clawed at the edges, demanding to break free. "Poisoned? By my own wife?" Edward Hale barked, his fork clattering onto the plate, eyes narrowing into slits of disbelief. "You'd better have proof, girl, or I'll have you arrested for slander right here." Lena's spine stiffened, fists balling at her sides as Victoria's sneer deepened, her chair scraping back with a screech. "Arrest her now, Edward. She's a threat, probably plotting to extort us. Look at her, thinking she can rise above her station." The venom in station stung like acid, stripping Lena bare in front of the gawking patrons, their whispers rising like smoke. "I saw it clear as day," Lena shot back, her voice cracking but unyielding, stepping forward despite the security guard edging closer at Victoria's nod. "While you were on that call about the merger, she pulled a vial from her bag, amber glass, no label, and dripped it straight into your salad. It sank in, gone, like it was meant to kill quietly." Victoria lunged up, face flushing crimson, nails digging into the tablecloth. "Lies! Edward, don't listen to this trash. She's jealous, bitter, black and broke, hating anyone with what she can't have." The racial barb hit Lena's gut like a punch, memories flooding. Her husband's uniform folded away after he died in a training mishap. Her father's scarred hands from marching in Selma, teaching her to spot injustice in every shadow. Edward's hand slammed down, silencing the room's growing buzz. "Enough! Victoria, sit! You—" He jabbed a finger at Lena. "Explain yourself before I call the cops." His tone dripped authority, the kind that crushed deals and lives in boardrooms, but Lena held her ground, chest heaving. It started routine, Lena pressed on, words tumbling fast. I've served you both for months. She always snapping orders, you buried in your phone. Tonight, school let out early for my daughter. No sitter, so I pulled a double shift. But when you turned away, arguing stocks, she glanced around. Eyes like a predator. And did it. Fast, practiced. I couldn't just watch you die. Victoria interrupted with a harsh cackle, grabbing her purse. Practiced? You're the one hallucinating, desperate for a payout. Edward, fire her boss. Make an example. The guard grabbed Lena's arm, yanking her back, pain shooting up her shoulder. Let go! Lena wrenched free, tray crashing to the floor, shattering plates in a cascade of porcelain shards. Edward rose slowly, face paling, as doubt flickered in his eyes. Test it, Lena demanded, pointing at the salad. Call your doctor. If I'm wrong, ruin me. But if not, Victoria's composure cracked, hand trembling on her purse. You won't touch my things, she spat. But Edward waved the guard off, signaling for his phone. Preston, get Dr. Ellis here now, and seal that bowl. The order hung, shifting the air. Lena's accusation igniting a fire she couldn't extinguish. Her old life of silent service was shattered. Now she chased truth, no matter the cost. The vile secret loomed, pulling them all toward the abyss. Test it! Over my dead body! Victoria Hale snarled, clutching her purse like a weapon, her knuckles whitening as she shoved back from the table. Lena's eyes locked on the bag, heart slamming against her ribs. She knew the vial hid there, proof of the poison's bite. Edward's voice boomed, cutting through the chaos. Preston, secure that purse, now! The butler surged forward, his gloved hand outstretched, but Victoria twisted away, nails raking the air. Touch me and I'll sue you into oblivion, she spat, face contorted in fury. Lena lunged in, grabbing Victoria's arm with an iron grip, muscles burning from years of hauling trays. Let him see it! Or are you scared? The words flew out, raw and defiant, ignoring the guard's rough yank on her shoulder. Pain flared, but she held fast, breaths coming in sharp gasps. Victoria wrenched free, purse tumbling to the floor with a thud. Contents spilling, lipstick, keys, and there, the amber vial rolling into view. Edward's face drained of color, his hand trembling as he snatched it up. What the hell is this? He demanded, voice cracking like thunder. Medicine! For my nerves! You drive me insane! Victoria fired back, lunging for the vial, but Preston blocked her, body a wall of loyalty. Lena's knees buckled slightly, sweat beating on her forehead, but she straightened, pointing at the salad. Test that first, it'll match. The doctor burst in, kit slamming open on the table, gloves snapping on. Mr. Hale, Dr. Ellis grunted, drawing a sample from the bowl, his syringe glinting under the lights. Minutes stretched like knives. Lena's mind raced to her daughter waiting at home, tuition bills piling up, the job she might lose tonight. Victoria paced, heels clicking like gunfire, muttering threats. You'll pay for this, you meddling bitch. No one believes a waitress over me. Lena's fist clenched, nails digging into palms, drawing blood. I believe what I saw, and soon he will too. The racial undercurrent burned. Victoria's stares, the way she ordered Lena around like dirt, echoing every slight in her 45 years of scraping by. Her father's voice echoed in her head. Spot the snake, Lena. Strike first. Dr. Ellis's face hardened as the test strip turned blue. Positive for cardiac toxin, foxglove extract, lethal dose. Edward's chair scraped back, him rising like a storm. Victoria, she whirled on Lena, eyes blazing. Framed, she's framing me. Planted it herself for a payout. The accusation hit hard, patrons gasping, phones out recording. Lena's stomach twisted, doubt creeping in. Could she prove intent? The manager stormed over, face red. Thompson, you're suspended. Get out before I call the cops. Lena's breath caught, tears stinging but unshed. Not yet. Mr. Hale, check her phone. Texts, calls. She planned this. Edward nodded, grabbing Victoria's device despite her screams. No, that's private. But he scrolled, face darkening at messages to a shadowy contact. Vial ready. Tonight. Victoria's defiance crumbled, shoulders slumping as security flanked her. Lena exhaled sharply, victory tasting bitter. First win, but the fight just ignited. She gathered spilled items, the vial now evidence, her hands steady despite the quake inside. The manager hesitated, but Edward waved him off. She's staying. We need her statement. Lena nodded, resolve hardening like steel. Difficulties piled, Victoria's lawyers incoming, racial bias in the air, her own life unraveling. But she adapted, pulling out her phone to snap photos of the vial. For my records, she muttered, learning fast. Document everything. Father's lessons kicked in. Observe, act, survive. As police sirens wailed outside, Lena stood taller, the journey's first steps carving her path through the storm. Victoria's glare promised war, but Lena met it head-on, unblinking. The truth's scent grew stronger, pulling her deeper into the fray. You'll rot for this, you uppity bitch, Victoria Hale screamed, lunging across the table as sirens blared closer, her fingers clawing toward Lena's throat. Lena dodged, shoulders slamming into the guard's chest, breath exploding out in a grunt. Back off, she snarled, shoving Victoria's arm away with a crack of bone against wood. Edward's roar cut through. Stop, both of you! He crushed the phone in his fist, screen shattering, as cops burst in, badges flashing, hands on holsters. Arrest her, my wife, for attempted murder, he commanded, voice like steel forging. Victoria's eyes bulged, face twisting in shock. Edward, no, she's poisoning your mind. Black lies, always scheming. Lena's blood boiled, fists shaking as she stepped between them. Scheming? I saved your life. The cops hesitated, one grabbing Victoria's wrists, cuffs clicking shut with a snap. You're done, Lena hissed, her glare piercing Victoria's panic. The vial, now bagged as evidence, sealed her fate. Edward's nod to the doctor confirmed it. Toxin matches, she's guilty. Victoria thrashed, kicking a chair over with a crash. You believe her over me? A servant. I'll destroy you both. My lawyers will bury this. But Edward turned away, face hardening into betrayal's mask. Not anymore. Preston, lock down her accounts. Now. The butler's fingers flew over his tablet, access revoked in seconds, Victoria's empire crumbling. Lena's chest tightened, adrenaline surging as a cop turned to her. Your statement. Now. She nodded, words pouring out. The vial's glint, the drip, the plan overheard in whispers weeks ago. No backing down. Her accusation public. Phones recording every word. Viral whispers spreading through the restaurant. She's been plotting for months, Lena pressed, voice steady despite the quake in her knees. Check her emails, offshore accounts, the works. Victoria's laugh choked out, handcuffs biting into her skin. Fool, Edward, she's after your money. Typical gold digger move. The racial sting landed hard, but Lena fired back. Gold digger? I'm the one exposing you, not marrying for it. Edward's eyes met hers, gratitude flickering amid the rage. She's right. Call my PI. Dig into everything. The private investigator arrived, laptop open, hacking traces lighting up the screen. Transfers to a hitman alias, dated today. Victoria's defiance shattered, shoulders slumping as tears streaked her makeup. It was for us, for the future without your chains. She spat at Edward, but he waved her silent, turning to Lena. You just saved my legacy. Name your price. Lena's jaw set, refusing. Just justice. But the moment locked her in, media vans screeching outside, reporters pounding doors, her face soon splashed across screens. No retreat, her old life erased, daughter calling in panic. Mom, cops on TV, it's you! Lena's heart clenched, but resolve burned brighter. Victoria's threats echoed as she was dragged out. This isn't over, you'll pay! Cops flanked Lena now, not as a suspect, but a witness. You're key to the case, one grunted, notebook flipping open. She detailed more. The overheard calls, Victoria's secret meetings in the alley behind the restaurant. Edward listened, nodding. Hire her protection. She's under my wing now. The decision hit like a bolt. Lena's world shifted, no turning back from the spotlight's glare. Her hands steadied on the table, nails scraping wood as flashbacks hit. Husband's grave, father's marches, her own silent slights. This win proved her path. Victoria exposed, but enemies stirred. Lawyers incoming, tabloids hunting. Lena exhaled sharply, standing firm. The truth's momentum propelled her forward, no reverse gear left. Victoria's cuff clink faded down the hall, but her venom lingered, promising deeper strikes ahead. "You worthless black whore! I'll bury you alive!" Victoria Hale shrieked from the squad car, her face pressed against the window, spit flecking the glass as cops slammed the door shut. Lena's stomach knotted, fists clenching until her nails bit skin, drawing pinpricks of blood. "Threats won't save you now," she muttered. But Victoria's lawyers swarmed the scene like vultures, suits crisp, voices slicing demands. "Step back, Miss Thompson," the lead attorney barked, shoving a subpoena into her chest, paper crumpling against her uniform. "You're a witness? More like a suspect. We know your type," extorting the elite. Lena's jaw locked, teeth grinding as rage surged, her arm jerking up to bat the document away. "My type? You mean honest?" Edward intervened, hand clamping the lawyer's shoulder. "Back off. She's under my protection." But the attorney sneered, twisting free. "Protection? From what? Her own lies? We've got footage. Edited, maybe, but it shows her near the table first." The bluff hit hard. Lena's breath hitched, eyes darting to Edward, whose doubt flickered back. "What footage?" he demanded. Here, the lawyer thrust a tablet forward, video playing, grainy clips of Lena serving, her hand near the salad bowl, Victoria's drip blurred out. "See? She tampered." Lena lunged for the device. "That's cut. I didn't—" But he yanked it back, smirking. "Tampered? Like you claim my client did? Cops, question her now." Two officers flanked Lena, badges gleaming, one grabbing her wrist with a twist that shot fire up her arm. "Hands where we can see," he grunted, cuffs dangling. "You're coming in for questioning." Lena wrenched away, shoulder popping in pain. "Questioning? For saving him? This is a setup." Her voice cracked, fury boiling as patrons murmured, phones capturing every flinch. Victoria's voice echoed from the car, muffled but piercing. "Told you, Edward. She's poison." The lawyers piled on, filing motions on the spot, one calling media contacts. "Leak it. Black waitress accuses white heiress. Racial hoax for cash." Headlines flashed in Lena's mind, her daughter's face in the crossfire. Job offers vanishing. "No," she hissed, shoving past a cop. But he blocked her, chest like a wall. Edward's face twisted, stepping in. "Release her. She's key." But the cop shook his head. "Orders from above, DA's involved now. Your wife's connections run deep." Lena's knees buckled slightly, but she locked them, breath ragged. Connections? Victoria's family ties to judges, her charity facade hiding bribes. "Fight it," Lena urged Edward, but a lawyer cut in. "Fight? You'll lose. We have witnesses. Staff saying she argued with Mrs. Hale days ago." Lena's pulse thundered, memories flashing. Victoria's earlier snubs, ordering her like a dog, now twisted into motive. "Argued? She demeaned me, called me girl." But the lawyer laughed, short and brutal. "Proof? None. Your word against hers." Cops tightened their grip, dragging her toward the door, her heels scraping the floor. "Let go," she yelled, elbow jabbing one in the ribs, earning a shove that slammed her against the wall, breath exploding out. Edward roared, "Stop! I'll bail her if needed." But the pressure mounted, reporters bursting in, cameras flashing, shouts of, "Race card or real threat?" Lena's vision blurred, sweat stinging eyes as a lawyer whispered to a cop, "Search her locker, plant if you must." The implication hit like a gut punch. She overheard, spinning to confront. "Plant? You bastard!" Her fist swung, grazing his jaw, drawing blood. Chaos erupted, cops piling on, pinning her arms, Edward shoving through. "Enough! Get Victoria's real records." But the walls squeezed tighter, Victoria's network closing ranks, her threats manifesting in arrests, leaks, and isolation. Lena's body ached, pinned down, but her glare burned. "This isn't over," she gasped as they hauled her up. Edward's promise echoed faintly. "I'll expose them." But doubt gnawed, risks escalating, no escape from the vice. Victoria's cackle lingered from afar, signaling deeper traps ahead. "You scheming black rat! I'll watch you burn!" Victoria Hale bellowed from her holding cell video feed, her lawyer thrusting the screen at Lena during interrogation, face twisted in triumph. Lena's fist slammed the table, knuckles splitting open, blood smearing the metal as she shoved the tablet away. "Burn! You're the fire starter." The detective leaned in, breath hot and foul, cuffing her wrist tighter with a yank that ground bone. "Sit down, Thompson. We have new evidence. Your fingerprints on the vial." Lena's eyes bulged, breath seizing in her throat. "Impossible. I never touched it." But the lawyer cut her off, slapping down photos. Her hand near the purse in edited stills, fingerprints forged or planted. "Touched? You stole it. Motive clear. Blackmail the Hales." Edward's call crackled through the speakerphone, voice fracturing. "Lena, they say you argued with Victoria, threatened her. Is it true?" Lena's jaw dropped, teeth clamping shut in fury, her free hand clawing at the cuff. "Threatened?" She spat slurs at me, called me trash. But the detective interrupted, slamming a file down. "Slurs or facts? Your bank records, overdrawn, daughter in debt. Perfect setup for extortion." Lena wrenched against the cuff, chain rattling, skin tearing as pain lanced up her arm. "Extortion? I saved him." The lawyer laughed, sharp and guttural, pulling up texts, faked messages from her phone to an unknown. "Pay up or the poison's public." "Hacked! Framed!" Lena roared, lunging forward. But the detective pinned her shoulders, slamming her back into the chair with a thud that jarred her spine. Victoria's image flickered on screen, smirking through bars. "See, Edward? She's crumbling. Always knew her kind snaps under pressure." The racial knife twisted deep. Lena's chest heaved, breaths ragged, memories assaulting. Father's arrest in '68 for protesting. Husband's body returned in a flag-draped box. Her own silent screams in dead-end jobs. "My kind, fighters," she spat, but Edward's voice wavered. "Lena, the evidence stacks. I trusted you." Betrayal hit like a sledgehammer. Lena's body slumped, cuffs biting deeper, drawing more blood. The detective piled on, waving warrants. "Search your apartment. Found traces of foxglove in your locker. Planted or yours?" Lena's knees gave, but the chair held her, tears burning unshed as fury choked her throat. "Planted by her goons." But the lawyer overrode. "Goons. Paranoia. Cops charge her. Attempted murder. Fraud." Charges flew, arrest warrant signed on the spot, flashbulbs popping outside as media stormed the precinct. "Black waitress turns killer. Hale scandal twist." Headlines screamed in her mind. Lena's daughter called, voice breaking through the holding line. "Mom, they're at school, saying you're a criminal." The line cut, Lena's hand smashing the phone cradle, plastic cracking. "No!" she howled, but guards dragged her to a cell, doors clanging shut with finality. Edward's final words echoed, "I can't help now." Too much doubt. Trust shattered. Her job gone, reputation torched, daughter's future ashes. Victoria's cackle replayed on loop via smuggled footage. "Told you, she falls hard." Lena collapsed against the cold wall, body racked with shudders, fists pounding concrete until skin split wider. Everything lost, dignity stripped, freedom caged, hope extinguished in one brutal strike. Guards mocked from the hall. "Innocent? Prove it from in there." Lena's breath came in gasps, body curling in defeat, the cell's echo amplifying her isolation. Victoria's web tightened. Victory, hers for now, but a faint spark flickered in Lena's clenched eyes. Buried, not dead. The abyss called, promising deeper darkness before any light. "You pathetic black failure. Crawl back to your gutter." Victoria Hale's recorded taunt blasted from the guard's phone, her lawyer shoving the device through the cell bars, screen glaring like a weapon. Lena's body jerked, fists pounding the concrete floor until knuckles bled raw, skin splitting with each blow. "Gutter! That's your soul!" she roared back, lunging at the bars, fingers clawing air as the guard yanked the phone away with a sneer. "Quiet down, inmate," he grunted, boot-kicking the bars with a clang that rattled her teeth. Lena collapsed back, shoulders slamming against the wall, breath exploding in sobs she choked down. Pain throbbed in her hands, blood dripping onto the filthy floor, mixing with the stench of defeat. "Why fight?" she whispered to herself, body curling tight, knees to chest as shudders racked her frame. The cell's silence crushed her, echoes of lost battles pounding her skull. Husband's flag-draped coffin, father's broken body after beatings in the marches. Her own screams silenced in endless shifts. "I tried," she hissed, nails digging into arms, drawing fresh lines of fire. "Saved him. And this?" Guards laughed outside, voices mocking. "Hero? More like fool. Blacks always overreach." The slur hit her gut, twisting like a knife, rage boiling but trapped, turning inward. Lena's breath came shallow, chest heaving as visions assaulted. Daughter's tear-streaked face on the news. "Mom's a liar," classmates jeering. Job evaporated, savings seized in the investigation, reputation shredded in tabloid ink. "All for nothing," she growled, head thudding back against stone, skull aching from the impact. Edward's doubt replayed. "Can't help now." Trust pulverized, alliances fractured. "Why me?" she snarled at the ceiling, fists unclenching only to slam palms flat, skin stinging. The guard returned, sliding a tray through the slop that splattered her shoes. "Eat up, princess, or starve." Lena kicked it back, food scattering, earning a baton rap on the bars that vibrated through her bones. Defiant, won't last. Pain flared, but she bit her lip bloody, refusing to cry out. Isolation clawed deeper, hours blurring into torment, body aching from the cold slab, mind replaying every misstep. "Should have stayed silent," she muttered, fingers tracing scars from old fights, reminders of survival. Father's words haunted. "Stand, Lena." But standing broke her. Family shunned calls, friends ghosted, the system rigged tight. "From abandon?" she rasped, body trembling as exhaustion crashed in waves. Guards shifted shifts, one whispering through the door. "Hale's dropping charges on you. Dream on. Victoria's pulling strings from inside." Lena's heart seized, breaths hitching as despair flooded. Drop or bury deeper? She pounded her forehead, knuckles bruising, trying to shake the fog. Daughter's voice echoed from a smuggled note. "Mom, come home." Crumpled paper cut her palm, blood staining the words. "Why bother?" she spat, body slumping fully, limbs heavy as lead. The urge to surrender gripped her throat, squeezing tight. Sign the confession, take the plea, fade away. "End it," she whispered, eyes squeezing shut, breaths slowing to ragged gasps. Pain radiated from every bruise, every cut, mirroring the soul-deep wounds. Father's marches, husband's sacrifice. All for this cage? Doubt gnawed, resolve fracturing like glass under boot. A final guard taunt pierced. "Give up, Thompson. You're done." Lena's body went still, breaths evening in defeat, the weight pressing her flat. But in the silence, a faint echo stirred. Old fire, buried embers. Surrender tempted, but roots ran deep, whispering resistance even in the dark. The cell's chill wrapped her, promising more agony before any break. "You broken black nobody. Stay down where you belong." Victoria Hale's venomous recording looped again from the guard's smuggled earpiece, her lawyer's voice overlapping with a sneer as he slipped a note through the bars. "Sign the confession, or your daughter joins you." Lena's body uncoiled like a spring, fists smashing the note to pulp, paper tearing under her nails as blood mixed with ink. "Belong? I'll drag you to hell first." The guard barked a laugh, baton wrapping the door with a crack that split the air. "Hell? You're already there." Lena surged up, shoulders ramming the bars, metal biting her flesh as she grabbed his collar through the gap. "Give me that earpiece." She yanked hard, the cord snapping, the device clattering to her feet. Listen to yourself. Her lies. But he twisted free, fist pounding her fingers until bones throbbed. Inmate, step back or solitary. Lena retreated, scooping the earpiece, breaths heaving as she jammed it in, Victoria's taunts flooding her ears. Edward's mine now, your truth buried. Fury ignited, her foot stomping the device to shards, plastic crunching under heel. Buried? Not yet. Pain shot through her foot, but she paced the cell, body alive with sudden fire, breaths deepening into resolve. Think, Lena, she muttered, fingers tracing the wall's cracks like clues. Flashbacks hit hard. Husband's last letter from deployment, scrawled warnings about toxins in the field. Foxglove's deadly bloom. He knew, she hissed, palms slapping her forehead, jarring loose the memory. His old journal hidden in her locker, detailing chemical agents, matches to the vial. Proof! She clawed at the cell door, knuckles rapping urgently. Guard, call my lawyer, now! But he ignored, turning away with a grunt. Request denied. Hale's orders. Lena's chest tightened, breath shortening as desperation clawed back. But she shoved it down, body dropping to push-ups on the bloodied floor, muscles burning to clear her mind. No, fight smarter. Father's face flashed, battered from billy clubs in Birmingham, whispering, truth hides in plain sight. Find the thread. She halted mid-push, arms quivering, realization slamming home. Victoria's text mentioned a supplier, her charity's donor list, public record, laced with codes. That's it. She banged the bars again, voice booming. I need a phone. One call. The guard whirled, baton raised. Shut up! He swung, but she dodged, the weapon glancing her arm with a bruise-forming thud. Call Edward. Tell him the donor logs. Pain fueled her yell, body pressing against metal despite the ache. Or I'll scream all night. He hesitated, eyes narrowing, then radioed in. Inmate demands. Hale's line. Edward's voice crackled through the speaker minutes later, edged with wariness. Lena? What now? She gripped the bars, knuckles whitening. Your wife's charity. Check the donors. Fox Supply. Code for the poison source. My husband's journal confirms the match. Edward cut her off. Journal? Where? My apartment. Search it yourself. But his lawyer interrupted on the line. Trap. Don't listen. Lena overrode, voice slashing. Trap. It's her downfall. Silence stretched, Edward's breath audible. Preston, pull the logs. Clicks followed, then a gasp. Matches, offshore payments, to a lab. Lena's body sagged in relief, but resolve hardened, breath steadying. See? She's the snake. The revelation burned bright. Justice not luck, but legacy. Husband's knowledge. Father's grit, her unyielding eyes. Plan, get me out. Confront her with this. Edward's tone shifted firm. Bailing you now. We end this. The guard unlocked the door with a clank, but Lena shoved past, arm throbbing. Not we, me, face to face. Body electric with purpose, she strode out, fists unclenching, blood drying like war paint. Victoria's web unraveled in her mind, the final strike forming. Embers flared to flames, promising reckoning. The precinct doors swung open, hinting at the battle's endgame. You delusional black parasite, kneel and beg for mercy. Victoria Hale snarled from the courtroom stand, her chained hands slamming the wood as lawyers flanked her, eyes blazing with hate. Lena charged forward from the witness box, fists clenched until veins bulged, shoving past the bailiff's grab with a shoulder ram that sent him staggering. Mercy? After you poisoned him and framed me? Victoria lunged over the railing, nails raking air inches from Lena's face. Framed! You deserve the noose! The judge's gavel cracked like gunfire. Order! Sit, Hale! But Victoria twisted free, elbow jabbing a guard's gut, his grunt echoing as he doubled over. Lena dodged her swipe, countering with a palm shove to Victoria's chest, thudding her back against the stand. Confess, now! Edward burst from his seat, voice thundering. Victoria, enough lies! He thrust the donor logs forward, papers scattering like shrapnel. Fox Supply, your poison link! Victoria snatched a sheet, ripping it in half with a tear that silenced the room. Fakes! Planted by her! She pointed at Lena, finger like a dagger. Edward, she's twisted you. Low-class venom in your ear. Lena's body ignited, breaths heaving as she grabbed the stand's edge, knuckles whitening. Venom? That's your game. She yanked the journal from her pocket, husband's faded scrawl, slamming it open. Foxglove codes, matches your lab payments. The prosecutor nodded, projecting emails on screen. Victoria's orders for the toxin, timestamps damning. Admit it, Lena demanded, stepping closer, heat radiating from her glare. Victoria's lawyer interrupted, rising with a sneer. Objection! Tampered evidence! But the judge overruled, gavel pounding. Proceed! Victoria whirled on him. Biased, all rigged for her sob story. She kicked the stand, wood splintering under her heel. Lena pressed in. Sob? I lost everything. Job, freedom, because of you. Victoria swung a fist, grazing Lena's jaw with a sting that drew blood from her lip. Lost? You never had anything. Lena wiped the blood, tasting iron, then countered with an open-hand slap that cracked across Victoria's cheek, leaving a red welt. Had integrity. You sold yours. Guards piled on, one pinning Victoria's arms with a twist that made her yelp. Let go, she screeched, but Lena held ground, voice slashing. The vial, the drip. I saw it all. Confess. Edward advanced, face etched in betrayal. Why, Victoria? The money? She spat at him, saliva hitting his shoe. Money? You chained me, old fool! But the screen flashed more. Her texts to lovers, plans to flee with the fortune. Chained? You murdered for freedom! Lena roared, grabbing Victoria's collar through the chaos, yanking her close. Say it! Victoria's defiance cracked, body slumping as tears streaked. Fine, I did it! For everything! The courtroom erupted, gasps, shouts, but Lena released her, breath steadying as cuffs tightened on Victoria. Guilty, the judge declared, gavel final. Lena's knees buckled slightly, but she stood tall, wiping sweat from her brow. Edward gripped her shoulder. You won. Prosecutors swarmed, sealing the case. Victoria dragged out kicking, her final glare promising hate eternal. This isn't over, she howled, but doors slammed shut. Lena exhaled sharply, body aching from bruises, but victory pulsed through her veins. The fight's end loomed, justice's weight lifting, but scars remained, etched deep. Edward's nod hinted at more. Rewards, changes. But Lena's glare followed Victoria's exit, ready for any last strike. You defeated black scum. Enjoy your scraps while I rot. Victoria Hale's final courtroom hiss echoed as guards hauled her away, chains rattling like broken promises, her lawyer trailing with defeated shrugs. Lena's body stood rigid, fists unclenching slowly, blood from her split lip drying as she wiped it with a sleeve, tasting victory's copper tang. Scraps? I earned a throne, she muttered, turning to Edward, whose hand extended in a firm grip. Lena, thank you. Edward's voice boomed over the dispersing crowd. Preston, clear her record, now. The butler nodded, fingers tapping orders on his phone, expunging charges in real time, media alerts shifting from suspect to hero. Lena's shoulders relaxed, breaths evening as reporters swarmed, microphones thrusting like spears. Ms. Thompson, how's it feel exposing a killer? She shoved one back. Feels like justice. Finally. Edward pulled her aside, away from the flashbulbs, his face softening from betrayal scars. Your job's waiting. Promoted. Estate manager, full benefits. Lena's eyes narrowed, fists balling briefly. Manager? After the slurs, the frame-up? He cut her off. After saving me, yes, and scholarship for your daughter? Harvard if she wants. Her breath caught, body trembling as memories flashed. Daughter's wide eyes on the news, now safe from taunts. Why? She demanded. Guilt? Gratitude, Edward snapped back, but his grip tightened. You showed me blind spots. My world, rigged against folks like you. Lena's jaw set, nodding sharply. Folks like me? Fighters. He released her hand. Build with me. Reform the charity. No more facades. She hesitated, then shook firmly. Deal, but on my terms. The agreement sealed, her body straightened, aches fading into strength. Daughter rushed in, arms wrapping Lena's waist with a crush that squeezed out lingering pain. "Mom, you're free!" Lena knelt, hugging back fiercely, fingers tangling in her hair. "Free? We're rising." Tears stung, but she blinked them away, standing tall as Edward watched. "Home now, our new one. Guest wing, estate." The offer hit hard. Lena's chest expanded, breasts deep with possibility. No more Brooklyn scraps. Media frenzy peaked outside, headlines blaring. "Black waitress topples heiress. Justice served." Lena faced cameras, voice slicing through questions. This for every silenced voice. Protesters cheered, signs waving. "Stand like Lena." Her actions rippled. Victoria's empire dismantled, assets seized for victims' funds, Edward's board reshuffled with diverse faces. "Change," Lena whispered, body moving through the crowd with purpose, fists no longer clenched but open. Weeks blurred, new office, overseeing staff who once ignored her, now saluting. "Ms. Thompson, orders!" She barked commands, efficient and fair, body energized by authority. Daughter thrived in prep school, calls filled with excitement. "Mom, I'm top of the class." Lena's smile cracked wide and hugs were fierce during visits. Edward mentored, sharing boardroom battles. "You lead the next merger." She nodded. "With integrity." Victoria's prison letters arrived, threats scrawled in shaky hand. But Lena shredded them, flames consuming the paper in her fireplace. "Done," she spat, body turning away. Community hailed her, speeches at civil rights galas, father's old comrades toasting. "Like him, you stood." Pride swelled, breath steady in the applause. Edward's final gift, a center named for her husband, aiding veterans. "Legacy," he grunted, hand clasping hers. Lena's eyes met his. "Ours now." The world shifted, barriers cracked, voices amplified. She walked taller, body unburdened, fists ready not for fight, but for building. In America's underbelly, one stand sparked many. Courage toppled thrones, proving the weak could forge empires. Lena gazed forward. The horizon promised more battles won. In the end, this story reminds us that true courage lies in speaking up against injustice, no matter your station in life. Proving that one voice from the shadows can dismantle empires of greed and prejudice, forging a path to equality and redemption. What do you think? Share your thoughts or your own stories of standing tall in the comments below. We'd love to hear how this resonates with you. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.